here's my thing. So again, like the Twitter mom, I'm starting to get to know them a little bit, and it's just amazing.
All of them?
Bro.
The entire
They're coming out of the woodwork. I literally put, hey, we shouldn't have Pride Night, Hetero Night, or anything at the ballpark, and you would have thought that I was holding Harvey Milk hostage or something. It's nuts. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like, it's legitimately real. Like, they don't care what you think. So, like, what you think doesn't matter.
That's Twitter.
They only care that you believe what they think. Because if you don't believe what they think, then like Bobby Boucher's mama said, then they're the devil. They're just all like Bobby Boucher's mama. They invent electricity, and they're the devil. But anyways, former NFL safety George Teague joins us to discuss the Dallas Cowboys and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Aaron Donald becomes the highest-paid non-quarterback in the NFL, and the college baseball super regionals are now set. I'm Jay Crane, and we're turning up. Y'all know what time it is. Pro Football Focus recently came out saying that neither Dak Prescott, Zeke Elliott, nor CeeDee Lamb are one of the three best players on the Cowboys team, which sent shockwaves through the football community. Now, I typically don't agree much with PFF, but in this case, I think they're spot on. I will always live by the moniker the game is won and lost up front. And PFF having Zach Martin, Tyron Smith, and Micah Parsons as the top three players for America's team falls right in line with that thinking. It's also true and shines a glaring spotlight on the two superstars for the Cowboys in Prescott and Elliott. Zeke is the one I'm most concerned about as his production from a carries, yards gained, and reception standpoint continues to decline. Last year, he barely rushed for over 1,000 yards after logging 979 yards the year before. He struggled staying healthy a bit, but right now he may not be a top 10 back in the league. I never thought I'd say that. And Dak, while he's put up good numbers at times, has struggled in big moments. And even you can argue he barely eclipses the top 10 quarterbacks in the league. And don't forget, these guys got absolutely paid, and the Cowboys are basically stuck with them. While Martin is a Hall of Famer and Tyron Smith isn't far behind, the safest bet I'd take is Parsons. He exploded on the scene and has shown a ceiling that's located somewhere near the stratosphere. If Dak and Zeke don't start edging their way into that top three, the Cowboys will be a good but not great team, and nothing is worse than wasting talent up front. Now, on a lighter note, I do want to get ahead of something. I want to show you the different faces of fandom that Skip Bayless has and how now he agrees with me in PFF. And then I have another clip a year ago after Dak got signed. And I don't want to hear him fawning over Prescott this year if Dak starts hot. Here's the first clip. Skip Bayless agreeing that Dak is not a top three player on the Cowboys team. Roll the clip. I can't believe this.
When the reality of this hit me last night, it was devastating because I started thinking, wait a second. I don't care about most valuable bet, whatever it is, just whatever it is. I'm seeing three players ranked above my quarterback and my running back. Yeah. And it's just flat out wrong, but it's right.
Okay. I'll go that way. It's wrong.
Okay, so there it is. Dak, Zeke, not top three, especially Dak. Now, let's watch a clip of exactly a year ago when Dak Prescott got signed, and you'd have thought Skip just found the golden ticket to Wonka's Chocolate Factory. Play that beautiful footage.
I had a great sleep last night in my Dak Prescott model sleep number bed. And then I woke up this morning and I was so refreshed, I went and out of mothballs, I got my Dak jersey. Check this out.
Back.
It's back. 4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years. Back in business. Here we go.
Okay, so you've seen both of them. So now if the Cowboys start out hot this year and Dak does well, and you see Skip just absolutely fawning over him, just remember those clips. And also remember Epic Will. It's a great deal. Going to bring in David Cohn, Blaine Crane, and our guest for today, former Alabama standout, has one of the most famous plays in Alabama history, was a hell of a player in general, let alone that one play in the NFL as well as safety for the Cowboys, Dolphins, had a great career, Mr. George Teague. George, I appreciate you joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it, and I like your talking points right there.
Well, look, let's hop right in. You've experienced it. You were a Cowboy. I know obviously it's different times. I know you keep up with them. What are your thoughts on Dak and Zeke? And George, do you see the Cowboys winning a Super Bowl within the next 3 years with this group?
So to answer your second part is no. As much as a fan as I am, I'm not really sure. I'm not sure that we're ready to win the Super Bowl here in the near future for sure. I think there should have been more done perhaps in the offseason. Even though there's some talent, I'm with you. I do agree that I think there's some other concerns that we got to have. Can Zeke stay healthy?
Yeah.
Hasn't proven that over the past couple of years at all. But, being a former player, I understand that. I was unhealthy for a few years, probably two to 3 years. But then I kind of worked my way out of it. Ended up having a good, successful career, playing 9 years. So there's that little piece to it. Dak, seeing him in person and watching him at practices. So I'll give a disclaimer. I did go to training camp last year, and I got to be around them for a couple of weeks and actually watch them in meetings, in the class, on the field, and seeing him up in person. I think in practices, he's got some of the tools. I just don't think they put him in the right position. I'll put it more on a coaching area than anything.
Is it the scheme? Do you think it's too pass heavy? Do you think they should rely even more on the run game? What adjustments would you make for that offense? Is it schematical? You think it's the problem in Dallas?
Short answer, yes, but I think it can go in a little bit more of that too, that it's more of not necessarily the scheme, but maybe the timing of when you actually call the plays.
Okay.
I think from the NFL is prolific, man. There's a lot of different things you can do to be successful. There's ways you can run the ball based upon your talent. There's ways that you can move the ball, throw the ball. And it just seemed like there were more times, and I go to all the home games, so I'm at every single one of them, for sure. And so occasionally some of the away games, so I get to see them a lot. And when you walk out of there scratching your head like this,
yeah,
a lot of times it does get kind of frustrating. And you have to ask, is it really the players? Is it the coaches? Is it the scheme? And a lot of times I come back to it's not always on the player.
Yeah. No, I agree. There has to be some meshing. There has to be some amalgamation of all of it. Last question, I'm going to kick it over to Cone. Being a Dallas Cowboy, being in the NFL is one thing. Obviously, it's a high honor. Very rarely do people make it that far. But I feel like being a Cowboy is even kind of the cherry on top of the cherry that's on top. Do you feel a little added pressure, or maybe pressure is not the right word, but kind of a sense of dominance at a place like that where you're expected, you're America's team, everybody knows about the Cowboys? How was that experience for you?
It was totally different coming here. And I played for the Green Bay Packers first, and it was rich tradition and things of that nature. But it just felt like from top down, once I got to the Dallas Cowboys, there was a different level of expectations when it came to how you played, how do you win, how do you ride for the brand more than for yourself. So Jerry Jones, very close with the family, but he's a tough cookie when it comes to that star, man, and what that actually means. And he sells the heck out of it. I think it does put added pressure on guys to maybe perform or try to be. I think what you were trying to say is kind of like playing for the Lakers or somebody. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. It's different, guys. If people don't really see how the sideline is lined up pre-COVID of multimillionaires, billionaires, superstars. I mean, there is all kind of stuff going on before the game on the sidelines. And there's all the who's who of everything. And that is totally different than a lot of other places.
True. Heavy is the crown.
Yeah. Well, George, I have to tell you, the last thing my wife said to me this morning before I left the house was "Roll Tide." So I thought you might appreciate that. And I know we're going to get to Alabama, but I want to start on your infamous hit of Terrell Owens when he was with the 49ers. We teach our kids to celebrate like they've been there before and to win and to lose with class. But we also teach them, or we should teach them, you must protect this house. and Cowboys Stadium was your house. Can you walk us through that situation with Terrell Owens?
I will. And as I'm sitting here looking at that table right in front of you guys, I just have to imagine, just imagine that I was sitting there and I just kind of moved all the footballs and basketballs and stuff out of the way and plopped my feet up right there in the stadium or in your thing. And I'm pretty sure you'd feel some type of way if I just came in as a guest and just decided to take over that little coffee table right there, right? That's kind of what the deal was there. Now, it was heated. We weren't playing well. We were getting our butts handed to us by the 49ers. And that was really my first time getting to know who Terrell Owens was, you know. And when he went out there to the Star the first time, and we had already had enough we had had a lot of trash talk, okay? He and I particularly. And some of his clips, you can go back and see where he kind of says, well, yeah, I did this to him and that. Man, it was heated. It was heated. And we did get into some scuffles. But once he went out to the Star, that's just disrespectful, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the right thing to do. Emmett went back out, tried to reclaim it, spike the ball, take his helmet off, you know, these kind of things. And when we got to that play, I knew he was going to score a touchdown. He was up against a rookie cornerback. I already knew. You know, it's one of those plays as players, you know where the ball is going to go. And I'm sitting here. All I did was just stand there and watch. I didn't even cover my guy. I just kind of looked to see what he was going to do. When he took off to the Star, man, I really just kind of had it and just decided I was going to go.
Yeah.
Forgot I was there and I was going to fight.
I don't blame you. I'd have done the same thing.
Well, I love that. And as far as you coming into our studio, we would like that to happen one
Come
day.
on, whenever you want.
Put your feet
Come
up
on.
anyway.
Now, another one.
Just don't put my feet up on the table.
Whatever it takes to get you here, but okay, yeah, as long as it's with respect. But no, that's one of the more famous situations from my youth, so I love hearing you talk about it. One of the other more iconic photos from you is after the September 11th attacks when you were running out with the American flag as a Dallas Cowboy. You know, in today's age, it seems like some professional athletes don't want to respect the flag or even kneeling for the flag, or we have baseball managers stand in the locker room. Like, walk us through your thought process when you ran out with the American flag over 20 years ago, and do you want to see this happen more with professional athletes these days?
Well, I think it would, and I'll go ahead and give you an early shout out. Roll Tide, since you brought it up earlier, I'll go ahead and get it now. But for me, you know, and I know this gets heated, contested on what people think about America and the flag, and should I kneel? I'm very proud of America. I'm very proud of our flag. I have a lot of service members in my family. My dad served in the Air Force for 25 plus years. My brother served in the Army for 20 plus years. I got a lot of cousins, you know, that have been in it. And so to me, I got a sense of pride for our country, regardless of what happened in the past. You know, my dad can tell you stories about him picking cotton and all this other kind of stuff too, right? So I'm not very far removed from it, but I know there are a lot of opportunities that were given to me that I wouldn't have gotten in other places and in other countries. So when we were attacked and 9/11 hit, it was really, really important for me to try to be able to show my patriotism, probably more than any other folks. And so, you know, we had to take a week off after that event. There was no games, and then we came back, and it's the most terrifying time to really try to be able to play in football games because you don't know what's going to happen.
True.
But we knew we were going to do something with the Dallas Cowboys because they always support the military. Well, they had all the flags and stuff kind of lined up, and someone was supposed to run out with the flag after me, one of the flag guys that they have. Well, I decided to change the script, and I just politely asked for the flag and said, hey, I'm going to need that.
Improv.
I need that for a minute. So I ran out with the flag, and that is like one of the proudest moments I had as a Dallas Cowboy, but also just as an American.
That was really cool.
Amen.
So awesome to watch. All right, let's go back to the Cowboys a little bit here. You ended 12-5 last year, won your division, statistically had the best offense in the NFL. All right, but you lose to a 49ers team that I believe the Cowboys had a lot better roster than. What do you think is holding back the Cowboys right now? Because Dak's record is 1-3 in the playoffs. What do you think is holding the Cowboys back from winning a Super Bowl, getting over that hump?
I think there is, and I have no proof of this, is just we talk about it a lot, but I think there's division in the locker room that, see, in today's age, there's not a whole lot of, not as much team and unity and doing things together. Everybody's kind of isolated. They got to have their own Instagrams, their own brand, their own something. And so you kind of lose sense of team. You're on the team, but you're not really on the team. You're not throwing with your guys. You're not spending out extra time. The one thing that I always saw Michael Irvin and Troy Aikman doing was every day they threw the ball together. Every day, off season, something, you know what? And then they turn around and go eat some wings at Wingstop, and then they might hang out together. And there's something. And I have no confidence that any of that is happening with our Dallas Cowboys. And I think that hurts in games because you still become individualized, as you said. Zeke trying to do his thing, CD trying to do his thing, Dak trying to do his thing, whatever. And so I think it's a locker room issue on why they haven't been able to win. I'm hoping that they would just go above and beyond and find a time to go to Del Frisco's or whatever steak place or wing place that they want to eat and really start playing for each other and not as individuals.
Yeah, I mean, they got the talent on that roster. That's no doubt. So I'm going to go a little college football right here. A little Nick Saban, all right, a little Alabama talk, all right. Alabama's favored right now to win the national championship. Surprise, surprise. If Nick wins the title this year, do you think this might be Nick Saban's last year in college football as the head coach of Alabama? I mean, what else can he do?
No, I don't think it'll be his last year. I know he's aging and all that kind of stuff. And if he wins, I think there's maybe even more motivation for him to try to win another one.
Yeah.
I think you might have a better chance of him leaving if he doesn't win. So I see him just being so self-motivated and trying to set the bar so high for anyone else. He's got a little bit of ego on him. I think you guys know that, right?
You got to.
So, you know, So no, I don't. I'm looking forward to the Texas A&M game. I just have to say, man, I'm ready for this one.
Oh yeah.
See what that pregame talk is going to look like, or what that post-game handshake is going to look like. It's going to be real interesting.
And that's at Alabama.
Yeah, it is. I do, George. Last question here. We're here with former standout at Alabama and the NFL, George Teague. The Jimbo Saban situation. You've been around football a long time. Have you ever in your life, in a press conference, seen a coach talk about another coach the way that Jimbo talked about Nick?
I have not. It was very shocking. I'm disappointed in it. I think there's enough locker room talk, chatter about coaches not liking each other, not having good relations. But typically in a public forum like that, you don't go off on another coach like that. I think that's not classy. I think it says a lot of negative things about Jimbo, regardless of how it happened. I don't think you should have handled that way. You know, You should know me by now. I'm kind of a more of a man-to-man kind of thing.
Yeah.
Kind of a me and T.O. deal. If he's got some problem with Nick Saban, he should have called him up, got on his jet, flew out to Tuscaloosa, or whatever he needed to do, and handle that in a different way other than just blasting it out there for everyone to hear.
Yeah, no, it shocked me. Well, George, I appreciate you coming on, my friend. We got to do this again soon the closer we get to football season.
All right, I'm coming. I'm gonna look at your table there.
Right.
Yeah, hey, come on. Whenever you want, George. Whenever you want.
In the house.
Come on, brothers. No problem. You just let us know. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks. Man,
What
that
a
was
legend.
awesome.
Talk about his Sugar Bowl strip real quick.
Again, you remember the Miami game. It was that 92 Alabama team was unbelievable, especially on defense. He made the play against Miami, stripped it, scooped it, went all the way for a touchdown in a huge moment, which is hard enough. It's hard enough to run down the guy the way he did.
Yeah.
He ran him down. He hawked him, ripped the ball out, picked the ball up, then went and scored a touchdown. They ended up winning.
Did he score a touchdown?
I believe he scored the touchdown. I know he knocked it out. I know he chased the guy down and knocked it out. That's. I'm trying to remember. It wasn't Castile,
it was a penalty.
I believe.
It was so I think what it was a penalty on Alabama. So it got
off,
called back.
It was offside.
But they would have just declined it.
And it would have been a touchdown.
And it would have been a touchdown
exactly
for Miami.
That's exactly right. I think we may have that clip. We may have it. We'll see if we can
Oh.
dig it up for later. But Blaine, what's the Booster Club saying?
Sister Riggs says, I'd hate to be the guy to coach after Nick Saban retires.
I've said it. You never want to be the guy that follows the
says
guy.
that.
You always want to be the guy that follows the guy that followed the guy. That's the guy that you want to be out of all the guys.
Makes sense. Hey, thanks for the socks, too. I'm rocking them hard.
Yes, Sister Riggs, thanks for the socks. Yes. Yes.
M.
Blaine's
Hutton
rocking
says,
right now.
Jerry Jones as a GM holds the Cowboys back. Great owner, but bad GM.
I use this analogy a lot, and I know the Lakers just won, the NBA Championship with LeBron and them. But I feel like the Lakers, for the most part, the Cowboys and Texas in college all have the same problem. When everybody is steering the ship at once, nobody's steering the ship. You don't have one firm voice, whether it's the head coach being able to do his thing. The only one that was able to maneuver around it was Jimmy Johnson. I think it takes a special type of person to handle the type person that Jerry Jones is. I don't think Mike McCarthy's that guy. I don't think Jason Garrett's that guy. It takes a very special type of personality to be able to thrive with Jerry Jones, who is Geppetto. He thinks everybody's a puppet, and you got to work around it. I think, and we all know these people in life, I think Jerry Jones is the guy that you work for, the boss, that in order to get something done, you have to convince him it was his idea. Like you have to convince him it wasn't your idea or somebody else's. It was his idea that he had that you guys helped bring to life together. There are tons of people like that. I worked for a guy that I'd go in there every week to go over special teams, and sometimes I'd have something brand new. I came up with like, oh yeah, remember we talked about that a couple weeks ago? We never talked about that. I just came up with it and you didn't know it, and now you want to use it and take credit for it when it works. And that's fine, because I just want to win, and you're the guy at the top. So I think that's the way it works.
That's interesting. I don't know Jerry Jones, but that may be his personality. But on the Dak and Zeke not being top 3 players on the Cowboys, couldn't that actually be a good thing? You know, like if you have other players that are so much better than your quarterback and running back who aren't the best in the league, doesn't that mean you have a good team, though?
I worry whenever either one of the quarterback or running back or wide receiver isn't in one of those 3, especially the quarterback.
CeeDee Lamb.
Again, they didn't have CeeDee Lamb in the top 3 though for PFF.
That's interesting.
Well, he's not going to be a top. CeeDee Lamb being.
Yeah, they wouldn't have.
I think Zach Martin's a top two guard in the NFL.
He is, but it's the concept is what I believe Cone is saying. Like I said, I think the game is won and lost up front. But I also want a dynamic player at quarterback or running back or receiver that is elite, that can be in that top 3. I love having 2 offensive linemen and a quarterback would be great. Offensive lineman, defensive end, jack, whatever, Micah Parsons coming down, giving him hell off the edge, plus a quarterback is great. When neither one of those, you don't have either of those skill positions in the top 3, it's very hard to win a Super Bowl with a very average quarterback. Name the last very average quarterback to win a Super Bowl. A lot of people will probably say Nick Foles. That'll probably be the first one that would pop in your head. Trent Dilfer's too far gone. The game is totally different now. I'm talking about in the game the way it is today.
So I would say Dak Prescott. I mean, y'all think Dak's a top 10 quarterback?
Barely if he is.
I think he's PFF's ranked him at 10th. I mean, you got the 10th best quarterback, CeeDee Lamb, the 12th best receiver. I mean, I would say Zeke. Zeke's probably not in the top 25
of running backs.
Of running backs.
I don't know about
from
that.
top 25 from last year.
Again, it matters so much about how good your offensive line is.
Yeah.
They have a good one, and Dak had one of his better years last year, so that does bode well. And I mean, I'd rather have a great offensive line and a good back than a good offensive line and a great back.
I'm with you 100% because it opens up a lot more. And again, you can have a guy that's maybe not the most mobile. You're able to protect him. You can stand in the pocket.
Pollard was ranked better than him last year when it comes to running backs. The backup running back for the Cowboys.
Yeah, but again, if you're drafting a team, are you taking 25 running backs before Zeke?
No, but I'm talking about what he did last year. The Zeke we saw last year. What have you done for me lately? I mean, the same thing goes with Dak Prescott. That's what we look with Dak. What have you done for me lately? Dak last year had a phenomenal season. He was a top 10 quarterback. I think he lead the NFL in passing yards?
He had 4,400 yards.
Like they were the best
when it mattered most. When it mattered.
Yeah,
most.
That's the knock on Dak. But I don't know if it's fair. You know, when the guys. It depends on the 3 we're talking about. If they were top 10, that's fine. But you're in the top. Zach Martin's, if not the second best guard.
That makes a ton of sense to me.
Smith is almost the best tackle.
But how healthy has Tyron Smith been? And I'm not arguing what you're saying.
Yeah.
But again, let's think who the third one is. Micah Parsons, who's in his 2nd year playing in the league.
Top five D-line.
So again, we have 1 year of sample size with Micah Parsons, and I'd take him right now. If I was drafting between any of those 3, for the next 5 years, I'm taking Micah Parsons. Zach Martin's on his way out.
Yeah, they're both
Tyron
older.
Smith's on his way out. Tyron Smith has struggled to be healthy. But again, when you're quarterback and you're superstar, Zeke Elliott, superstar coming out, right? Superstar when he got in the league. I can tell you, I can go through. I wrote down his numbers. And another thing that Zeke does is catch the ball out of the backfield very well. His receptions keep going down every year. In 2018, he ran for 1,434 yards on 304 carries. In 2019, he ran for 1,357 yards on 301 carries. In 2020, he had 979 yards on 244 carries. A little bit beat up. 2021, He only had 1,002 yards, barely eclipsed it on even 7 less carries than the year before. So you're going to start getting less output from Zeke because they're starting to take the ball away from him a little bit because a running back's life in the NFL, it's not long at all. It's probably the shortest, basically, of damn near anybody at that position. But when you don't have an elite quarterback or running back in today's era, how are you getting by the Bills? How are you getting by the Rams? How are you getting by the Chiefs? The Rams have Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford's probably ranked ninth when it comes to PFF.
Look at Matthew Stafford's career. Look at his yards thrown for. Matthew Stafford is an elite thrower of the ball.
Okay, we're talking about ranking.
If you put Dak Prescott on the Rams,
we're talking about ranking.
If you put Dak Prescott on the Rams, how does he do?
PFF has, I believe, Dak in front of Matthew Stafford when it comes to rankings of quarterback. So I don't understand, like, elite-wise, Dak had more of an elite year.
It's what your definition of elite is.
Well, we're going to the PFF. That's what we're talking about. We're talking PFF ranking.
Elite to me is what you do in the postseason, too. There's a lot of guys that have great regular seasons. There's a lot of guys that have put careers together that have a lot of great regular seasons. Elite is coming through in the postseason. That's the last notch on the belt to me to be elite. It's just hard. It's hard to get in the Hall of Fame without winning a championship. Some guys do it, but their numbers are buku stupid. You know, like Dan Marino and guys like that. I mean, look at Jim Kelly. Guy went to the Super Bowl, 5 times? 5 times?
I think it was
4 or 5, didn't win it. So, again, there is a gene of winning when it comes to the postseason, and that should go into the elite category, in my opinion. What else do we have from the Booster Club?
Jack Daughtry says, I'm a Baltimore guy, and I agree. Would you take Flacco over Dak Prescott?
No, I would not take Flacco over Dak Prescott. Flacco, big arm, big tall guy, can see 3 miles down the road, but he can't move. He's a statue. Dak can extend the play. And again, I'm not saying Dak's not a good player. Obviously, he's starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. You're a pretty good player. But Dallas expects Super Bowls. And if you don't have an elite guy, when it comes down to it in the postseason, when it matters the most, you're not going to win it. You're just not. That's what I'll say about Nick Foles. Do I consider Nick Foles an elite quarterback? No. But I will say this. When it came down to it in the playoffs, oh boy made the plays. He's got a gene in him that I don't think Dak has in him, to be honest with you, because I've seen it when it matters the most, when the chips are all pushed in the middle of the table and you got to make a play.
Is Dan Marino elite?
Come on, man. Don't ask questions like that.
Well, I mean, he didn't win a Super Bowl.
Don't ask questions.
He didn't win a Super Bowl.
Blaine, you're misconstruing what I'm saying. There's not just one thing you look at. It's everything together. There are some guys that are anomalies, just like anything. Dan Marino is an anomaly with the amount of yards he's thrown for. Look at the amount of yards that Matt Ryan's thrown for. Guys that have gone their career without winning a Super Bowl that threw for a ton of yards. There's a lot more journeyman quarterback that never threw anything than there are quarterbacks who threw for that many yards that were able to get into the Hall.
Answer your own question on Dan Marino so you can be on record. Is Dan Marino
yes.
Okay.
Should John Elway be in the Hall of Fame?
Who?
John Elway.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, no, I'm just saying if we're saying only if you're only elite.
No.
Right? If you clutch it in the playoffs.
No. That's not what we're saying. That's a huge part of it to me. That's a huge part of it to me. But Dan Marino made a Super Bowl.
When's the last
Super Bowl Dak Prescott made?
He was still playing football. I'm sure Dak will make a Super Bowl in his career.
Will he, though?
I think he will.
Wait, how long do you think Dak's with the Cowboys?
I think Dak probably be the Cowboys his whole career.
His whole career?
Unless late.
So you think the Cowboys are going to win a Super Bowl with Dak Prescott?
I said go to a Super Bowl.
You think they're going to go to a Super Bowl?
I do think. I
don't think they will.
I think they will.
Be interesting.
Well, that's where we disagree. All right, let's go one more, then let's go to the sub break because I got to get on the ball after the sub break.
All right.
Okay, Matthew McConaughey, is everything all right?
Actually, I started that and he copied that for me.
Actually, that's a true story. Not a lot of people know.
All right, Ryan Hayes. First of all, I believe Ryan Hayes is a huge Cowboys fan. He says, what do we think of Kellen Moore? Do we believe in Kellen Moore as the offense coordinator for the Cowboys?
The scientist, I do. And that's, I think George, what he was talking about earlier was the predictability of the play calling for the Cowboys because they have been pretty predictable. But Kellen, to me, and I go back and think about Kellen when he played at Boise State. Was he the most physically gifted player? No. But he understood his spots. The dude could read coverages unbelievably, like Denzel Washington from the Book of Eli. Just looking at it just made sense. I do feel like he can be a top-notch play caller. I believe in Kellen Moore.
He deserves a larger sample size.
I think he does too.
You know,
I think he does too. Again, we don't know the situation on the staff of who's holding back who or whatever or anything like that. But we don't want to hold you back. YouTube branch, stay hot. But if you want to watch or listen to the rest of the show, head over to dailywire.com and become a member. Listen on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe, leave a 5-star review, share it with all your friends. And don't forget to check out the new Crane & Company merch on the dailywire.com/shop. Under Originals, Replacement Cone's rocking one really hard, and he looks great. We'll be right back with more Booster Club and great analysis. The Carolina Panthers announced that Justine Lindsay will be the first ever transgender cheerleader in the NFL. And CBS decided to take it a step further. Let's play the clip.
Finally, the NFL has hired its first openly transgender cheerleader. Yes. Justine Lindsay first told the world in an Instagram post back in March that she made the Top Cats, the cheerleading squad for the Carolina Panthers. In that same post, she came out as transgender. While that post came out a few months ago, she is just now speaking out about the position, telling BuzzFeed News, quote, "I think more people need to see this. It's not because I want recognition. It's just to shed light on what is going on in the world, and you continue to speak your truth because we're here for it." Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are definitely here for that.
You don't know how many little kids at home might see that and be totally inspired and feel just more confident.
To me, this is totally different than the Leah Thomas situation because this sport, while it's difficult, isn't the same type of competition against other women we see with Leah. In all actuality, I have much less quarrel with this than with Leah destroying the competition by being the equivalent of a speedboat going up against a bunch of rafts. My question is, why do we again focus on the sexual orientation of someone rather than their ability to be the best? Do we not want our kids to be inspired by work ethic and ability rather than their sex? We have to figure out the best mechanism for inspiring our youth. How about we highlight perseverance, dedication, humility, and what you're doing for others? This shouldn't be a story just because someone's transgender. There are plenty of people who are transgender, but few worked as hard as this person to reach this goal. To put it plainly, our avenues for inspiration are distorted. So going forward, let's highlight the person for who they are, not what sex they have stayed or what they've become. And we might just find that pushes us closer to equality even faster. Very simple. Again, this isn't a Leah Thomas situation, but why do we have to draw inspiration from a sexual orientation? Why can't we draw inspiration from the person who accomplished the goal?
Or taking on responsibility.
Like I said yesterday, have no problem with who you love, who you want to be, whatever. I've got no problem. But we keep trying to use this as an inspiration for other people instead of use it. I didn't figure out anything about that person in that clip other than they were transgender. I don't know anything about them. I don't know what they went through to get there. I don't know that person really. All that's telling me is I should be happy because a certain person is a certain way that's in a certain spot. I don't believe that. I think we should judge people on the content of their character, not the color of their skin, not what type of sex they are or want to choose to be or whatever. It just makes no sense to me.
There was an important phrase in that clip you played where they said, "Speak your truth." And
Yeah,
I thought
what-
our colleague Matt Walsh, who just came out with his documentary, he did a good job of shining a light on that phrase, which is there's no speak your truth, there's speak the truth.
Yeah.
There's an objective truth. And I think I love what you're saying about, the meaning is created through responsibility and through what you took to get there. I have no idea what I have in common with this person, but that's something that I would like to know.
Yeah.
More so than
Well,
that.
again, tell us the story. You want to inspire me, inspire me. I can go to downtown right now and find 5 transgender people, and I don't care like that. That doesn't matter. Inspire me. What did you do to inspire me? It's the content of the person, not their sexual orientation or what sex they identify as. Like I said, it doesn't matter to me. We have a bad problem of just saying, okay, you believe a certain thing or you're a certain way. We should just uplift that regardless without any sort of background just because you look that way. Imagine if we took that in other parts of society. It would be a disaster. That's not equality to me. Equality to me is, hey, the Top Cats just got a new cheerleader. Here's who that person is. Not, oh, hey, guys, guess what? We're only going to talk about the importance of this because it is a person that is a transgender person. To me, it's borderline bigotry in itself. Like, why can't we draw inspiration from what people did, not just what they look like? The identity politics and just relying on, oh, well, you fit in this certain group, so we're going to uplift you regardless, blows my mind. We will never get closer to equality, whether in anything, if we keep treating people different. Treat everybody the same, and everybody will act the same. It's the same thing I was talking about Pride Night and sexual orientation in a ballpark. You want to know how you make everything the same? You treat people the same. It shouldn't matter who you're with. There's time and a place. So, again, we continue to see stories like this. Congratulations to Justine for making it. It's not an easy thing to do. It is different than the Leah Thomas situation for obvious reasons from a competition standpoint. But tell me about the person, not just what identity they identify as. Let me know about the person and what they went through to get there. Tell me the story. I don't want to just look at the cover of a book and then assume what the story is. That's the opposite, I think, of what they're trying to do. Blaine, what's the Booster Club say?
Dak's an elite quarterback, guys. How is Dak Prescott overrated? Like, I'm confused. Well, what is it? Like, you're a top 10 quarterback, but you're not elite? Like, I'm confused. Someone explain it to me.
Well,
hold my hand, walk me down the walkway.
Elite is 10?
And
There's 10 elite quarterbacks?
Okay, let's go through it. I don't even have to go through the top 4. All right, we know Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick. So, would you say Justin Herbert's elite?
No, not yet.
Lamar Jackson's elite?
Yes.
Okay, would you say Matthew Stafford's elite?
Yes.
Was Matthew Stafford elite before he won the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Yes. Look at his numbers.
Okay.
That was a bad situation.
So,
yeah. Let's not
is Dak Prescott elite?
I don't think he's there yet.
Why?
Because he hasn't showed it to me when it's on the line.
So you're saying
Who you taking, Lamar or Dak?
Dak.
You're taking Dak over Lamar.
Jackson?
I'm probably taking Dak.
I feel
like a lot of that has to
That's cap.
A lot of that has to do
cap.
with personnel.
That's cap.
Or contract.
That's cap.
Like,
Or
I wouldn't
contract.
give Lamar Patrick Mahomes money like he's supposedly asking for.
I'm going to give Dak money.
Yeah, well, that's a good
To be
point.
honest with you.
So Matthew Stafford was elite before he won the Super Bowl. Okay, so your
elite's over
structure
the
for
ball.
the elite is the playoffs. That's basically what you're basing.
Have you
someone
seen
being
Matt
elite.
Stafford regular season numbers?
Yeah, but first of all, Matt Stafford's played. Did you see Dak's
How many
regular
times Matt
season
Stafford-
numbers last year?
How many times was Matt
don't
Stafford in
compare
the
those.
playoffs before he went to the Rams?
Matt Stafford
Probably
was the
never.
youngest to 30,000 yards, the youngest to 40,000, the youngest to 50,000
What did he
yards.
do the minute he was on a good team and got in the playoffs? He won the Super Bowl.
Well, I would
He
say
won
they
the
were better
Super
than
Bowl.
good. I would say the Rams are better than a good team.
You have to have a quarterback. Look at the numbers that Matt put up. Did he have the greatest Super Bowl of all time? No, but they won it. They
Well,
won
I'm just
it.
saying, like, Dak has been putting up numbers this entire time. The only knock on Dak is what? He can't win in the playoffs. He can't get over the hump. So if that's the standard, if that's what makes you elite or not elite, I can understand that. But Dak Prescott, first of all, is a top 10 quarterback, and he's putting up elite numbers. He put up elite numbers last year, was one of the best passers in the NFL last year that got in the playoffs and fizzed out. If you don't want to call him elite because he doesn't do in the playoffs and he's 1-3, I'll understand that. But if that's your criteria, then that's your criteria.
See, again, you're confusing the criteria. You were talking about Matt Stafford being elite before he went to the Rams, correct? They barely
Yes.
made the playoffs in that dysfunctional organization in Detroit he was. Still put up incredible numbers. And what did he do when he got in the playoffs? They balled. Went and won a Super Bowl. What's Dak done when he's
Is
got
Josh
in the
Allen
playoffs?
elite?
Is Josh Allen elite? Yes.
What has he won in the playoffs?
He has gotten further in the playoffs than Dak. Would you take Josh Allen or Dak?
Yeah, that's the simple question. You taking Josh Allen or Dak? Just pick one.
No, you
Pick
can have
one.
I'm saying if you're basing it on
No,
playoff
who do you
wins.
want?
You're basing it on playoff
Just
wins.
pick one of them.
What I mean,
Pick one of them.
Has Josh been to a Super Bowl?
Who's taking? Who you taking? Dak or Josh?
Well, obviously I'm taking Josh. But that
why
doesn't
are
make
you
Dak
obviously
not
taking
elite.
Josh?
That doesn't make Dak not elite.
And Josh's running ability is just 10 times what Dak's is, and he's twice his size. Anyways, back to the Booster Club. Oh, we got to go punt or go.
Hey, speaking of the NFL, Aaron Donald became the highest paid non-quarterback with a $40 million raise. This was a home run hire for both, or a home run contract for both parties. Punt or go?
I'm going to say go. You had to do it. It's Aaron Donald. I mean, it's like, are you going to pay Batman or not? Like, do you want to protect the city or not? Again, you can't complain about the crime rate and not pay Batman. So Aaron Donald used the leverage perfectly, but I think he really would have walked away. But the Rams weren't stupid enough not to sign him. Now, they made him the highest non-quarterback from a salary standpoint of all time. I think $40 million raise, and they should have. It's great business. Great business by the Rams. Because now, what did we say earlier? Good teams are built from where? The inside out and up front. Now, if you're in the secondary for the Rams, and now losing Von Miller and guys like you can really kind of make up for it a little bit because Aaron Donald patrols the middle. You know that offenses have to know where he's at, and they have to tailor not only the run game around him, which you typically have to do for interior linemen, but the pass game as well because he's such a good pass rusher from that interior defensive line position. So if you're the Rams, you signed the best defensive line in the league. Yeah, you had to pay him money. That's just part of the deal. But it was a smart move, and it shows me that the Rams are serious about winning again. They don't want to be a one-hit wonder. They don't want to Milli Vanilli this thing. They didn't lip-sync their way to the title. They want to be a constant contender, and good for them. If I'm Matt Stafford, any other guys on that roster, I'm looking at the management going, good on you. You still believe in us? Let's strap this bad boy up and go win another one because we got Aaron Donald, and you don't.
I agree. He was worth that. I don't agree that he would have walked away, but hey, apply the leverage however you have to.
That's true.
Phil Mickelson and Dustin Johnson will both compete in the LIV Invitational, but they both also plan to compete in the U.S. Open, which they're exempt to enter for at least another 10 years. Should the PGA Tour ban them?
Yes. If you're the PGA Tour, I said this last week, because now you see some of the other guys. Taylor Gooch going over there surprised a lot of people. Kevin Na now, saying, I'm going to do this. There's some fringe guys. But if you're the PGA Tour, it's like going into prison and hitting the biggest guy on the first day. You got to send a message. Like, this isn't cool. Because the minute you're like, you know what, Dustin and Phil, you guys go over there, you'll have a great time, and you just come on home. Street lights come on, you just come on home. They are going to use you and abuse you. It's that time in the relationship between two people where one person tries to see kind of what they can get away with, and the other person has to lay down the law. Because remember, you can always start hard and get easier. You can never start easier and get harder. So if you're the PGA, you got to lay down the law. I don't know who you got to bring in to lay down the law. Maybe it's time for Terry Tate, office linebacker. Get him in there, roaming Augusta, making decisions, making sure everybody's got their head on straight. But if you let this slide, and everybody say, oh, the PGA Tour is so strong, and they're strong. They got a lot of money that's backing them. They don't have this type of money. Believe me, regardless of what you think, and the Saudis have done some awful stuff from a human rights standpoint. We all know that. Even Phil and them know that. But let's not pretend like they don't have money. And at the end of the day, money talks and BS walks. And if the PGA Tour says, all right, Dustin, Phil, you guys have your fun and come back, they're going to get used and abused by all the top golfers going back and forth. To me, you're done. Dustin, you're the 13th ranked player in the world. Big-time player, one of the best out there. But let's not act like Dustin is the elite of the elite. Let's not act like Dustin is, you can't not have this guy. Well, he's not Tiger.
He is fourth all-time in wins of current players. But no one person, I guess, even Tiger at this point in his career, I understand what you're saying. It's no one person that would be the undoing of the PGA Tour. But if Justin Thomas follows, if Jordan Spieth follows, if Jon Rahm follows, that's where it's going to be interesting. And Phil and Dustin Johnson are both exempt, like I said, to play in the U.S. Open because they've won it they've won it recently. It'll be interesting to see if the PGA Tour steps in.
If I'm the PGA Tour right now, you're not exempt for the minute you get on that plane and you head over there, it's a wrap. Don't come to any more events. You're done. And then you're going to find out. Then there's going to be like a great divide. You're going to have some guys that know, all right, well, if I'm going to make this choice, I got to go all in. At least you've now made it a binary choice. Either I know I'm going and I can't come back, or I'm not going because I don't want to have to try and come back and they're not going to let me. That's what's going to be interesting. And can we just have this for 1 second? Can I just throw this scenario out there? What if, and maybe this is just my brain working, you have like the LIV Tour, they get some big-time guys, obviously, and then you have the PGA Tour, and at the end, you take like the top 5 from each, and they have a match to decide for the realm who is the best golf one. Remember? It's like Lord of the Rings, like one ring to rule them all.
The PGA would win.
So you mean like the SEC versus the world?
Oh,
is that what you're doing?
The PGA would definitely win.
Also, these guys can't compete in the Ryder Cup now.
No, you're done.
You're done. That's what I'm saying. You have to
chose money over legacy, buddy.
Dustin
That's
said
what
it was nice. It was nice.
You chose money over legacy. You will never be remembered.
Here's one.
He'll be remembered. You're the first one by everybody going to the LIV Tour.
Dustin,
You act like he's just
Dustin
going to
won't
some
get
remote
remembered.
island.
That may be what it becomes, but this is one Blaine and I were talking about earlier, so I both want you to answer this. Eduardo Escobar hits for the cycle, the 11th cycle in Mets history yesterday.
So dope.
Hitting for the cycle is tougher than pitching a perfect game. Punt or go?
Oh my gosh, this is a tough one. To me, it's I'm gonna go. It's harder to throw a perfect game than it is hit for the cycle. You can run into
I think,
a couple.
Okay, you're punting too.
Yeah, so
I'm punting. Yeah, I'm punting. So it's to me having to put. Are we talking about a 9-inning perfect game?
Yes.
Going 9.
Yeah, there's only one perfect game.
I don't care.
9
Thank
innings.
you.
Complete
Okay, good. I'm just saying. Now, well,
No.
let me ask you this: do we count the team perfect games? If you throw 7 perfect,
Do we count the team cycle?
No.
If I hit a homer and you hit a
No,
triple
that's a
and you
good
hit
point.
double,
That's a good point. It is much harder to throw a perfect game than it is hit for the cycle. I think we can all agree with that. And I do want to say, we have to remember the PGA Tour doesn't run, all the majors technically. So that is, but again,
What majors do they?
Let's not act like they're not in bed together, though. Let's not act like these guys don't go to the same ivory tower to eat lunch, which is probably like crocheted salmon with some sort of
Just made of
unicorn
gold.
sauce. Yeah, it's just made of gold.
Yeah.
They just bring money on
They
the
just
plate.
sold gold bricks.
It's like, what do you want for lunch? She's like, $20,000. Like, sure.
I can't remember that place. It was a place at the beach where they throw bread rolls at you. I can't remember, but when they do, they just throw gold bricks at you.
Yeah, here.
Now,
No,
life is so tough.
again, I've got to go perfect game.
Yeah, it's so much harder to get 27 ounce. Good luck.
No walks. And again, air, you got air. It's a tough deal.
All right, last one. The college baseball super regionals are set. I think there are 5 SEC teams right now. Obviously, this list will get whittled down to 8 teams that go to Omaha for the World Series. Half of the College World Series teams will be SEC teams. Punt or go?
I've got to go on this. It's the best conference for baseball there is. I believe we have some graphics, too, of the matchups. We want to throw those up on the screen. I do want to say this again about these regionals going into supers. Even last night, this has been the best postseason for college baseball that I've seen yet. And some of the matchups that we have in these supers are legit. Tennessee, Notre Dame, sneaky. Everybody thought Notre Dame should have hosted a regional. Now we're going to find out.
So I'll read them off. real quick.
Go ahead.
Notre Dame at Tennessee, Texas at East Carolina, Louisville at Texas A&M, Oklahoma at Virginia Tech, UConn at Stanford, Arkansas at UNC, Ole Miss at Southern Miss, Auburn at Oregon State.
Come on.
I'm going to tell you something. That Ole Miss Southern Miss game, I'm going to go ahead and say it, maybe the collection of the best-looking women in the whole country during that time. If you want a time of where in the country are the best-looking women at in the world and in the United States, go to Hattiesburg this weekend. Everybody from Ole Miss is going, and everybody from Southern Miss is going. This is an old-fashioned fist fight. It's what we got. In-house, in-state, little brother, big brother. The only person that's pissed off is Mississippi State, who's just drinking a Capri Sun in the corner. Like, what happened?
I'm pretty excited. 2 things here. One, I hate to see the way Michigan went out. That was a crap.
It's tough.
We don't need to talk
That
about
was a bad call, Dave.
Why have replay? Why even have replay?
I understand.
If you're going to get the call wrong, then let's just speed up the game and not even have replay.
Yeah, let it out.
Okay?
You're right.
No, he wasn't safe. He was out. No, he wasn't. He was out.
Well, he's out.
But I am stoked about this Louisville A&M match.
That one, too.
That's going to be
Also, you've got, what is it, Arkansas going to North Carolina?
Yes.
I believe it's sign me up for that. Then Auburn goes out to Corvallis. I tell you what, there's a couple things you can count on when you get toward this type of year: death, taxes, and Oregon State being relevant. They just figure it out. Like, it comes this time of year, they just put the numbers in the computer, it just lines up, it just adds up.
Love it.
You want to go a little mailbag?
We can either do mailbag or top 5. We have our top 5 fictional film athletes.
Let's go
So
top
we
5, and then we'll go.
Okay.
mailbag.
All right. You go first.
Squeeze it in. All right. So we did our top 5 fictional sports movie characters. We all know fictional means they're not real. Here are my 5. I'm going to start from 5 and go down to 1 because y'all know who number 1 is, but I have a clip I want to play. Number 5, Rick Wild Thing Vaughn. You got a guy coming in, throwing a hundo, rocking the glasses with Wild Thing playing from the outfield? Come on, you make our hearts sing, man. Rocky Balboa, number 4. Hey. Obviously, it's Rocky Balboa. Jesus Shuttlesworth, number 3.
Jesus
Like you said, Tone,
Shuttlesworth.
had an unbelievable official visit.
Man,
number
Ray
2,
Allen.
the greatest golfer of all time, in my opinion, Happy Gilmore. Then y'all know who number 1 is. Play that clip for number 1. Y'all know who it is. We're going down the bayou for this one.
Bobby Buffet.
Let's run it.
No.
Oh, man. The single face bar.
It may be the greatest sports movie ever. Bobby Boucher is my number 1 fictional sports movie character. The dude went back to school, got his degree. They tried to cheat him, said he went to a high school he didn't, and the coach, Coach Klein, hid from him when they found out. The water boy is not a cheater. And also, you go and have the biggest game of your life in the second half of the Bourbon Bowl. You remember that?
I'm trying to remember I wish I could remember the first time I watched Waterboy.
I've watched it so many
remember
times, there is no me remember.
I laughed so hard. Let me introduce you to the right top 5.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So we're going to go 5. Happy Gilmore, he's up there, really shaped my childhood a little bit. Wish I could do that. Tried the swing, doesn't really work out that well.
Yep.
All right, number 4, it's Jackie Moon.
Jackie.
ELE, fellas. ELE, everybody love everybody. We traded Monix for a washing machine. All right, then 3, it's Ricky Bobby.
Okay.
I mean, it's Ricky Bobby. If you don't chew Big Red, David,
you know.
I know the rest.
And it's 2. This number 1 and number 2
This is
so dumb.
White Goodman.
White Goodman
That's a good
is
one,
one of
buddy.
my favorite. The dodgeball, his character is probably the funniest character I've ever seen.
Do you remember?
Suffocated Come
Do
Quiet?
you remember when the blonde lady goes over to see him and he comes down the stairs and she's like, "Hey, are you reading the dictionary?" He's like, "Oh, I'd like to break a mental sweat too."
No,
Like, dude,
and some cultures, all they eat is throat.
yeah, he's like, "We should mate."
Oh yeah, we got a clip here of of
Jackie Moon?
of Jackie Moon fighting Dewey the bear.
Let's run it.
Let's
This
run
actually
it.
happened.
Yeah.
You're just nothing but a dumb bear. Smack neck.
Wait till he gets crazy fist.
Crazy fist. Come in with crazy fist. Huh? This is fine. He's not doing anything.
He's not doing anything. Oh man, and then of course number 1, I got Bobby Boucher.
That a boy.
Bobby
That a boy.
Boucher. All right, pull up the list.
Conathan.
Pull up the list here. All right, forget Happy Gilmore. Number 5, Shooter McGavin.
Shooter.
Okay. Number 4, Steamin' Willie Beeman. You guys know I
almost went Willie
Had to
Beeman.
put a quarterback
Or
on
Shane
there.
Falco.
Almost went Paul Crew. Okay, but Steamin' Willie Beeman. Number 3. Jesus Quintana.
You went the bowler from Big Lebowski?
Jesus Quintana.
That's when he dated like a
You
14-year-old?
flash your piece on the lane. You know the rest. All right, number 2, Bobby Boucher. I have to agree with you guys. The single face. I mean, if you're playing linebacker, you have the single face. You're a legend of epic proportions. And number 1, Roy Hobbs. Think about this. Think about this. Slated to be the greatest pitcher that we've ever seen, gets shot with a bullet, and then he comes back and he's one of the greatest hitters of all time. Shohei Ohtani before his time.
True.
Roy Hobbs. There you go. Oh, let's pull up some shooter.
Let's go Shooter McGavin. Run that clip. This is gone.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how many times I've done that on a golf course?
Oh, dude,
A
everybody.
lot.
If you haven't done that, if you haven't done that or tried the Happy Gilmore swing, have you really ever actually played
I don't think
golf?
I made it to like a 4th hole.
Here we go. Let's
the
run the
Happy
Happy
Gilmore
Gilmore.
swing.
Run it. Oh, yeah. He's approaching. It's a delicious delivery, and the ball is smothered.
And you see how much of the ground he hit?
Yeah, so much
I'd go
ground.
that far.
As he hits a hole-in-one on a par 5. Shooter McGavin. I should have put Shooter McGavin in my top 5.
I'm really surprised there
I
was
really
White
would.
Goodman.
I wanted to put the Bash
I know.
Brothers from Mighty Ducks.
That was a great.
But
Every
you
time I
can't-
watch hockey,
what are you gonna? They would take up 2 spots.
That's true.
You know?
Well, do you want to do a little mailbag while I walk to the board?
Yeah, mailbag.
Let's do that
Let's do
because it is Mailbag Monday
on a Tuesday.
on a Tuesday, fellas.
Okay, let's start off with Stephen Bennett.
Stevie.
If American football became an Olympic sport, this is fantastic.
We'd kill everybody.
If American football became an Olympic sport, what is the lowest level of players America could make an all-star team from and still win gold? Could a team of high school All-Americans do it? Division II college players, junior high, or
Maction.
or Vanderbilt?
Here's what you do. You take the Under Armour All-Star game, you mix it with the Army All-Star game, you take the best players, we go over there and wipe them with a bunch of
I think Maction.
in the first time we've gone to Europe and kicked somebody's
You
ass
can
with
run
a bunch
into
of
some
18-year-olds.
huge rugby guys over there, and they can just say hi, kind of,
I don't care.
I
They're
need
not
some
used to
girth.
throwing it. They
I
don't.
need
They
a
can't
little bit
defend
of
a
girth.
post.
I'll need
How about this team here for starters?
Have you seen the guys that Alabama and A&M and Georgia are saying? A little bit of girth. These guys, listen.
I'm talking about like around the entire roster.
No, you take the Under Armour All-Americans and the Army All-Americans. We'd go over there and wipe them. It would be a wipe festival. It'd be sponsored by Charmin Ultra. Less is more.
I love that question. Steven also said, love the show. I listen here in Idaho while feeding my beef cows. Doesn't get more American than that.
Damn right.
P.S. In one episode, you claimed all college football teams pay their players. I'm a University of Idaho alumni. Given the Vandals didn't win a single game in the 4 years I was there, I highly doubt they're paying players unless it was in ramen.
Hey, give me his name again.
Stephen Bennett.
Steven, I will tell you, the Kibbe Dome was one of my favorite places to coach at when we went up there and played Idaho and beat them with Linehan's son at quarterback. All right, what else we got, Coney?
You want another one?
Give us another one.
Guys, I love the show. This is from Tyler McIntosh. I love the show. Been following since you came over to the Daily Wire. I tune in every day. My question is, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of doing the NCAA basketball tournament format the same as the softball and baseball format with the regionals, supers, and then the World Series?
Saw something on this the other day. They're talking about the new baseball format that everybody's a fan of.
Okay, here's what I'm going to say when it comes to the NCAA basketball tournament. It's the same thing about Oh Boy's drum set from Step Brothers. Don't touch it!
Yep.
Don't touch it!
Yep.
Please.
You don't
touch it. I love the way the regions are set up, and I see where you're going. But I still think the NCAA tournament is the greatest postseason format of all time. So therefore, don't touch it.
It's the one thing the NCAA gets right.
We love you watching the show. Appreciate you.
Cops doesn't start till 4.
Cops doesn't start. You know how I know you're lying? Because Cops doesn't start till 4. Well, now I'm playing Moby Dick for real. All right, here's what we got. After Edmonton was up 4-2 with 5 minutes to go in the game, looked at me as a human being, laughed, and turned the other way. Canada, I picked the Blue Jays to win the World Series. If they do not, I will never pick you guys for anything again. Ever in the history of I don't care if it's drawn maple leaves or who can eat the most maple syrup or drink the most Paps, whatever they drink up there. I will never pick you guys again in anything. So Blue Jays, it's up to y'all. Edmonton, you can't hold a lead. You deserve to lose. Honestly, after what Kane did to Oh Boy, to Kadri, y'all deserve to lose. But I'm going with the Lightning tonight. The Rangers, guys, they've been hotter than a fat kid at a Pop-Tart factory in a sleeping bag. So
he's at a Pop-Tart factory in a sleeping bag.
That's how hot
First in line.
That's how
first
he's in line.
He's first in line.
That's exactly right.
I love.
You just got to get him out of the butter bear.
Best Pop-Tart?
Taste the
cinnamon brown toasted cinnamon.
Yeah, either the cinnamon or the chocolate.
Good.
I like the
chocolate fudge.
The grape.
You like the grape one?
Jeez, what are you?
They're all good. They're not food.
No, they're not.
They're not. No.
The grape is not good. The cherry is not good. I don't want to go off on this tangent. Can I please get back to what I was saying? The Rangers have been playing well. Saban-Jimbo is the baddest man. But give me the Lightning, -1.5 at plus 148 today. Let's go. Empty net, please. Giants, help us God. Then, who cares? I'm going the over. Everybody on the planet's picking the under. The guy who's picked the most overs of all time is picking the under for this game. Therefore, I'm going over. So give me over
Would love that.
5.5. And that's going off at a dirty 112. Clean it.
Wow.
You know,
clean yourself up.
2-8, 8-2. Doesn't matter to me because I come in this building every day with what?
A 2-8
A 0-0 mentality.
Yeah, maybe we need to pretend we're down. Yeah,
you're
0-0 mentality.
That's
We're
right.
going to stay. Let's go on baseball, all right? Let's go Cubs first 5 money line -125 with Keegan Thompson 1.99 ERA on the mound.
I hit against him.
Yeah, Keegan Thompson. Guess where he went?
I didn't hit it.
The old AU, baby.
Yeah. He played at Coleman.
Right? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we played against him in baseball.
Oh, so
96. Hey.
So you think he's shoving for 5?
Oh,
or what?
Keegan is shoving. Is he on the mound?
Okay, because I need a win.
He's shoving.
Let's go Blue Jays first 5 -0.5 on that one, -155 with Alex Mona on the mound, 1.98.
Mona.
Okay, all right.
Some picks.
You know, we 1-1 yesterday, took an under. I don't know why I keep doing that. You know, Blake Snell, I took the under in the first 5 for the
I thought you were talking about the hockey game.
Blake Snell got out there first inning and walked 3 people.
Yeah.
Great, Blake. Appreciate it. I'm not taking unders anymore, but you know what we're going to take overs. Jake, I love that over 5.5 at plus 112. I feel like it's a great bet. So I'm going to take the Rangers, TTP. All right? 2. Over 2.
Over 2.
Okay.
So
the New York Rangers.
Yeah, the New York Rangers. So I hit 2, I push. I get anything more than that, I hit. Then I'm going to take each team, as in the Rangers and the Lightning, to score at least 2 points.
Okay.
All right.
2 goals.
I know that seems like it's easy. It's not.
Hey, we got to make sure we make it goals, not points, right? Points is different in hockey. That's a totally different
points.
thing.
They have points in hockey.
They
Is that
have
what you
points in
mean?
hockey, is what I'm saying.
You mean goals or points?
Goals or points.
What are points in hockey?
So you
get
get a point
assists.
for an assist. Like you get a point for
Goals.
a goal.
This is
goals.
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 Yeah,
this is team goals.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
team goals. So I'm taking.
Clean yourself up.
Score some points. Boys.
Okay.
You know, one of those games.
Okay.
Score
yes.
some goals.
Okay.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Okay,
It's
baby
hockey.
come.
Points, goals. I mean, really, what's the difference?
There's a big difference.
Well,
but
Is there?
yes, Baby Cone went 2-0 yesterday. Decided to take the Avs.
Great.
Felt
He
good
took
about
the
going.
Mets. I should have took him.
He took the Mets were up 3-0 in the first inning. I was like, Baby Cone,
They're gonna
slide
win.
dog. And Baby Cone's getting 2 bets now. You want to know why? Because we believe in letting people move up. When you have success in this company, you move up. Baby Cone had success with 1 pick. We'll give you 2. What do you do the first time we give you 2 picks? Pop a cone? You go 2-0? Even replacement cones feels good down his plums on that one. So, Baby Cone's going. He's going Rangers plus 1.5. I'm taking the Lightning.
That's
plus 1.5.
fine. You can win.
No,
that.
I did this yesterday.
You can win that.
I'm not a violent man.
Oh, you can't win that spread. Oh.
No, you can't win
Look,
that.
it's like going against Vader.
That's minus 170. Yeah, great. I'm going up against the Emperor. Astros. He also wants the Astros first 5 minus a half point at minus 160.
Verlander.
That'll probably hit 2. That'll probably
Verlander's
hit
on
2
the
because
mound.
Verlander's out there throwing spells.
He got
at
knocked
people.
around his
He's
last
not even-
start,
look.
so he's due for a good start.
get knocked around
that was
every once
weeks
in a
ago.
That's due for a good start.
All right, let's go Booster Club bets. Let's put these up here. If you guys have gotten really hot lately.
We got mighty close.
EJ Runis, 6-0, wants the Blue Jays minus 1.5. That's minus 126.
Yeah.
That,
Is that for,
minus 1.5 is minus 1. That's
who they playing?
Who are they playing? The Bad News Bears? JT Bryant's 4-0, wants the Toronto to take the first half. He wants Toronto in the first period. B. Cercio, Red Sox money line minus 136. Tennyson Tipton's 3-0. Wants the Rangers plus 1.5. Please no. Boring Florida Man's 3-0. Lightning money line has to happen. Tall Riot wants the Marlins money line minus 180. BJPS 09XU13 is 2-0. Wants the Rangers Lightning under 5.5. Buckhorn Dave's 1-0. Wants the Lightning under 3.5 team total goals, excluding OT. So just in regulation, that's going off at minus 185. Man, they think this is going to be a fist fight. D-Coach 22 is 0-5. Doing the Lord's work out there. Rangers money line. I love that you're 0-5, and I love that you're picking that. Let's hope it holds. No offense. Lava Leech is 0-4. Well, only buddy out dueling them is D-Coach 22. He wants Lightning and Rangers over 1.5 first period, going off at plus 100. That's not a bad bet.
Hey, both my bets do include overtime. I forgot.
They do include overtime and goals and not points, right? Okay. All right, let's see what joke Addie put in. Let's see if it's good or not.
Oh, if I get this right.
No, I'm not saying this. Hey, there's no way you're going to get this right.
Is it good?
No, but what do you?
Is it good?
What do you call a fish wearing a bow tie? 3, 2, 1. It's sophisticated. So I didn't come up with that.
terrible.
I didn't come up with that.
That is
That's not me.
terrible.
Don't get mad at me. There's been some really good ones in
We
there.
need to start getting
Addie, you've had some really
dad
good ones in
jokes
there.
ran
That
by
just
me
happened
before we
to
play.
not be one of them. But make sure you're subscribed on all platforms, TikTok, all that stuff. We appreciate you guys joining us. Still working on that DW chat, grinding it out. Make sure you get the merch.
Yes.
DailyWire.com/shops. It's under the originals. Good teams win.
Party
Great
thoughts?
teams cover. We have a He's a Witch t-shirt coming out. Maybe we should make a She's
David?
a Witch one too so everybody's not pissed.
Party
David,
thoughts, David?
yeah.
Hey, George T gave a Roll Tide.
Yeah. How about
So
that?
Darby's not going to be pissed.
Roll Tide, good vibes, I guess.
What if I said Oreos are mediocre?
Hey, we appreciate you guys joining the
They're
show
mediocre.
today.
Are the
Hey,
gold ones
Oreos
better?
are mid.
Yeah, I'm not going to let this
Oreos
happen.
are mid.
I'm not going to let this happen on a show
Oreos
that
are
I'm
mid.
doing. You will not.
Yesterday you said
blaspheme
Santa
Oreos.
Claus doesn't get arrested for fraud.
Santa
I can
Claus has
say
been
Oreos
embezzling money.
are mediocre.
Who could get away with the bank robbery better than Santa Claus? You don't know when he comes in. He goes in and out. I guarantee you when they go to the bank and they're like, who robbed us? They don't think it's Santa Claus. What has this man gotten away with? It's because people like you, Wayne,
Santa can get away with what he
enable him.
wants.
Enable
If he
him.
comes to my house and he loves the milk, he tells me how good the cookies are.
Stop enabling Santa Claus.
I will not.
Sometimes you got to check the guy that's making the list and checking it twice because sometimes he's naughty.
Stand up
and
for
not
Santa.
nice.
New shirts are already getting
Well, I
made.
audited my parents, and it wasn't good, and I got grounded.
Great movie.
got
Great
light.
movie, David.
Yeah, great movie.
Great movie.
Great movie.
What's that movie from?
What's up?
What was that from? What movie is that from, David?
Blank Check.
Nope.
Any other guy.
Another good movie.
Besides the Oreo blasphemy, we had Bobby Boucher as number 1 on a lot of lists. Roy Hobbs, that was a good one. We appreciate you guys joining us. Got a great show tomorrow for you. But just like the Warriors' chances of sweeping the Celtics, we're gone.